Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a review of Grownish Season 1, Episode 2. It will contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode and don't want to hear spoilers, don't watch this video. But if you came here to know everything that happened in this episode, then stay tuned. So, Grownish, Episode 2. It starts off, last episode we realized that Anna is Zoe's new roommate. Just a refresher, Anna is the girl that Zoe left at a party, drunk, throwing up. So Anna does not like Zoe. So it's just little things that Anna's been doing to be kind of like the worst roommate ever. But I mean, it's understandable. Again, I don't really think that Zoe is a bad person for leaving Anna at the party because, I mean, it's not like they were friends. That was the first day they met, so it's not really like Zoe was obligated to stay with her. I mean, I don't think she's a bad friend. I think that she was just a person who did kind of like a mean thing. But anyway, so Anna has taken it personally, and she like won't wake Zoe up for class, which again is not Anna's responsibility to do. You shouldn't. If you're new to college, do not rely on your roommate to wake you up. They do not have to do that. But yeah, she lets Zoe oversleep. She like labeled all her food so that Zoe can't eat any of her food. She's just telling her like no about everything. Flicks her off all the time. Things like that. But I mean, she's just being rude, I guess. But it's understandable for her not to like her. But back to Zoe. So in this episode, we realize that Zoe is having a hard time balancing having fun in college and handling the responsibilities of college, which is really the key to college. You gotta know how to have fun, but also do your work. Some people never learn that, and after freshman year, they're gone. So that's one of the major keys of college. Figure that out early, or it'll mess your GPA up, and it will take forever to bring it up. That didn't happen to me, but it did happen to other people, and they did say it was hard to bring up. Anyway, so she sees like at these parties, she sees all these people doing drugs, people drinking, people doing this, people doing that. Everyone has their thing that they use to cope with college. But Zoe's like, I drink enough to get a buzz, but I'm never white girl wasted. And she doesn't do drugs at all and all this stuff. So she's like, I'm not doing drugs. So Luca comes into her room and he's like, you need to get your stuff together. Like, you look sloppy. And they have a project that they need to do together. And he's like, we can do it tonight. And Zoe says, no, I have to go to this art exhibit. At the art exhibit, Zoe brings Nomi and Vivek. And they're like, why did you bring us to this? And it was about James Baldwin. And who do we know who's obsessed with Black people? Aaron. It was hosted by Aaron, and it's very obvious that Zoe has a major crush on Aaron. And she's in fact stalking him at this point. Aaron comes over and invites them to dinner. His exact words are, you freshmen should come eat with us. Maybe not his exact words, but that's what he says, you freshmen. And Zoe takes that as a personal invite, like, oh my gosh, he wants to eat dinner with me. And she goes, and it's like this pizza place, and Aaron's there, but so is like 75% of their student body. And that's an exaggeration. But there's a lot of people there from school. And she like tries to sit specifically with Aaron, but the table's crowded, so her and her friends have to go somewhere else in like the back corner of the place. There she's talking to Nomi, Vivek, and the twins about how stressed out she is. But Vivek is a drug dealer, so he's like, here, take some Adderall. And she's like, what? No, I can't do that. And he's like, what? It'll help you focus in on your homework, because she has a 25-page paper to write. She's like, I can't do that. Drugs are not my thing. I don't judge other people who do it, but that's not for me. And he's like, here, just take it, just in case. So later that night, she's sitting at her desk and she's trying to start the paper, but she's not getting anywhere. And she was like, okay, I'll try Adderall. And she pops a pill and she was like, this doesn't do anything, until it hit her. And she's like, oh, okay. And she starts typing. She gets a paragraph and she was like, oh, this is great. I can focus on one thing for hours. And then she was like, oh no, I can focus on one thing for hours. And she sees a ad for shopping and ends up spending the entire night shopping and spends $3,000. And the next day she was like, this is horrible. I'm never doing drugs again. I didn't finish the paper and I ended up spending a whole lot of money. And her friends were like, okay, you'll never do it again. And she was like, no, I'm serious. I'm not going to do it again. Later on, she goes and talks to Luca, who Luca is a strong advocate for weed. And he's sitting there smoking weed while doing like a fashion sketch. And he's just very chill and he's getting his work done. And looking at Luca, Zoe's like, well, maybe it's not all bad. And the next night, she's starting the paper again. She was like, okay, this is the last time. And she pops a pill of Adderall. And this time, she actually does focus on her work and gets the entire paper done in one night. 25 pages. Yay her. I've never done that before. I've never taken Adderall. And I've never done 25 pages in one night. So next, we see that Zoe, Vivek, and Nomi are at a coffee shop. And Zoe's like, I got my work done. I'm never doing it again, though. And they're like, sure, okay, whatever you want to tell yourself. He's like, next time you're paying. And Aaron pops up because, of course, he didn't just pop up. Zoe's stalking him. She knew that he would be there. And he invites her to a party held by the BSU. And she was like, oh no. Or she's like, oh yay, it's a party. And he invited me to it. She's super excited about it. But it's like, if you remember, didn't he hold like a leadership position in the BSU, which stands for the Black Student Union? Like, it's his job. Like, he wants people to go to an event held by his organization. So it's like he's going to invite as many people as possible. So, like, don't take it personally, Zoe. And again, like, I don't really see the attraction for Aaron. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's ugly, but I don't see why she's doing all this trying to get this guy's attention. It's just like all this stalking and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe everyone else sees how gorgeous he is or whatever. But he don't do it for me. At the party, as soon as she gets there, Aaron walks up to her and is like, hey, you made it. And like he has like a stack of red plastic cups, solo cups. And like something crashes and he's like, I need to go handle this. Here, can you pass out these cups? And he just walks off. And so she becomes the cup girl. And she even has to make a run to the store and buy more cups. She's a good one because I wouldn't have done that. I would have been like, I'm not in the BSU. I would have left the cups there and socialized with everyone else. But eventually she's like, forget this. And she is about to leave and Aaron pops up again. He's like, hey, thanks for everything that you did tonight. I really appreciate it. She's like, yeah. And starts to walk off. And then he's like, wait, I can't let you walk home alone. And she's like, and then she's like excited. And then Aaron turns to his friend, hey, can you walk her home? And it's like, and she's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's not cute, but he doesn't look like Aaron. So she's like, thanks. So we cut and she's at her dorm room and it's like 2:00 in the morning and her roommate Anna's asleep and Zoe accidentally wakes her up and Anna's like, oh my God, this is every night. Why are you doing this to me? And Zoe finally talks to Anna and finally apologizes because after, like, I think it's been like 2 weeks and they haven't talked to each other about what happened. And Zoe finally apologizes to her and she like opens up and says like, I haven't been myself since I've been here and I'm really sorry. And that makes Anna open up and she's like, yeah, I don't usually drink. That was the first time I drink other than Mass on Sundays. And that's just the blood of Jesus Christ. So that doesn't really count. And they just like open up and they talk for hours and they're dancing. And eventually Zoe, like it's late and Zoe's like, you know what? I'm through with this. I don't care about Aaron anymore. I'm not going to do any more pills and I'm not going to party. All I want to do is sleep. So Anna's like, okay, good night. Anna gets in the bed. Zoe lays in the bed. As soon as she lays down, her phone goes off and she looks at it. And who is it? Aaron. And he texts her with the, "You up? Want to hang out?" He hit her with the "you up" text. And then, of course, she like thinks about it. She's like, yes. And replies back yes. And starts to like get out of the bed. That I feel like that was obviously going to happen. Like, who has not? Okay, show of hands. Who has gotten a "you up" text message? Who has replied yes to the "you up" text message? Right? Like, who hasn't? So, especially like a guy that you're interested in. Like, oh, okay, yep. You could be dead tired, but look at the text message. Oh, I'm up. Yeah, I'm up. Just give me 30 minutes. I'll be there. Or, I'll be ready in 30 minutes. But what I didn't expect was that she opened her little nightstand and took out the bag of Adderall, got one and like put it in her mouth. The camera froze, so we don't know if she actually took it. Like, she may have thought twice about it and put it back, but like it froze right there. And I'm surprised, like, why would you even like need Adderall in this situation? Like, again, like, you can be dead tired in the bed, but if someone that you're interested in texts you in the middle of the night, I don't know about y'all, but I get a certain burst of energy, and I don't need Adderall to keep me awake. If someone that I've been crushing on hard to the point that I'm stalking hits me up in the middle of the night, like, I'm gonna, I wouldn't need Adderall at that point in time. So that like really surprised me and didn't really make sense to me. But that is how the episode ends. In my last review, I talked about how in order for this show to be interesting, Zoe's going to have some flaws. And I don't know how I feel about Adderall being her flaw. It's just like, really? She's got to be a pill popper? But, I mean, it does make her a little more interesting, I guess, because she was, in my opinion, she was kind of boring on Blackish because she was their perfect child and she never did anything bad, really, and she was good at everything that she did, and she's super stylish. Like, she didn't have any flaws. Like Junior's nothing but flaws, and I love him for it. Junior's my favorite character, but her is my least favorite because it's not really interesting. So I get that they're trying to give her character some development and kind of round her out, but I don't really know how I feel like about the whole Adderall thing. But I am interested to see where this goes and how episode 3, the only little clip that we got of episode 3 is that Erin posted something on Instagram and she's reading way too into it, thinking that it's about her when it's not. So that was episode 2. I will be reviewing episode 3 when it comes on next week. Stick around the channel. Maybe check out some other things. Be sure to like the video, share it, subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. I'd love for you to come back and watch some more things. So until next time, and I'll see you later. Bye.